as all love books, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Happy Friday. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to do side characters in romance books that I think deserve their own books, or I would love it if they got their own book. I have quite a list here, so let's get started. The first book I want to mention is Fair Catch. Fair Catch is about Riley, who's the only girl on the football team because she made a promise to her brother, who's in a wheelchair because of an accident, and he can't play football anymore. His name is Gavin. Gavin is actually Riley's twin. So she joins the football team in Gavin's place, but she's also forced proximity with Zeke and her brother's best friend. So this character that I want them to get their own story is Gavin. I would love it if Kandi Steiner wrote a story for Gavin because I think he's an interesting character. He has a spinal cord injury. He plays basketball, wheelchair basketball. So yeah, I would love it if he gets a romance of his own. And he got his HEA. So Gavin is the person I want to get his own story in Fair Catch. The next book I'm going to mention is Sweet Dandelion. Sweet Dandelion is about Danny. She was in a school shooting in high school, and her mother died. So her brother, Sage, got custody. And so they moved. And as a requirement for her school, she has to go to counseling and talk about her feelings, and it's her slow burn relationship with that guidance counselor. I love Sweet Dandelion. I read this because of McKay from Oh Hey, it's McKay. I want Sage, Dandelion's brother, or Danny. Her name is Dandelion, but I know her name is Danny, or some flowery name, I can't remember. But her brother Sage, I want Sage to get his own story, because we got a lot of how Danny is dealing with her mom's death, but in some instances we see throughout the book that Sage is not taking his mother's death very well, and we know by the end of the book he's in an off and on again relationship with Sage's best friend. So I would love to know stage story from Sweet Dandelion. The next person I want to get their own story is Charlie Cobalt from Damage Like Us. If you don't know what the Damage Like Us series is, it follows the kids of the Addicted series and the Calloway sisters. It follows their kids. And Charlie Cobalt is the character that I want to get his own personal story. I really, really want Charlie to get his own story because in Damage Like Us, the first book in the kids series spin-off, Charlie plays like a misunderstood character in Pharaoh and Mafi's story. It's a bodyguard romance, but Charlie Cobalt plays a misunderstood character throughout the whole series, and I really want Charlie to get his own book because we kind of got that in the body. I forgot the name of the book, but there was a point in the series where we got a story about Charlie's bodyguard and a TV director. We got their love story, and we got some insight about Charlie Cobalt, but I really want Charlie to get his own book. If you read the Like Us series by Krista and Becca Ritchie, please let me know if you agree with me. Another side character I want to get their own book is Natalie from Hush Hush. Hush Hush is about a dad's best friend's dad. Forbidden romance. And it's about Natalie, Aubrey, and Javier. Or I always forget the dad's name. Javier. And we get their story. But I really want to know Natalie's story. Natalie is Aubrey's best friend and James's daughter, and I really want to know her story because I think she is so interesting. Oh, and I forgot Hush Hush by Lucia Franco. The next couple of books I'm going to mention is fantasy series. And I'm going to mention two characters. I want, it's Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. I want Dorian and Manon to get their own story. Will that ever happen? I don't know, but I would really love it if Sarah wrote a story for them. Another, by the way, these couple books are gonna be by Sarah J. Maas. But Azrael in A Court of Silver Flames. I know Azrael has to get a story. He has to. we get a lot more of him in A Court of Silver Flames. But I really want Azriel to get a story. If she doesn't do it, I'm gonna be so disappointed, but Azriel has to get his story. Another person I would like to see in the Sarah J. Maas universe get their story is Tamlin. I want Tamlin to get a redemption story. Tamlin from A Court of Mist and Fury and the ACOTAR series. I thought he redeemed himself by saving Reese. But that's my opinion. But I really want to see Tamlin's redemption story. And the last book from Sarah J. Maas that I want to see get their own story, it's Ruhn from House of Sky and Breath. Ruhn is Bryce's half-brother, and we kind of see him get his own love interest in House of Sky and Breath, but I would love it if Ruhn Dannon gets his own story. I like Ruhn better than Hunt, but I would love it if Ruhn Dannon from House of Sky and Breath gets his own story. And the last book I want to mention about a side character that needs their own story is a book that I read recently, a book that inspired today's video. It's called His Saving Grace by Kylie Gopal. It is about two wolf shifters who both lost their mates in different ways, who get a second chance in finding mates for themselves with each other. Grace's mate, Titan, died while trying to protect Grace from hunters when their pack was attacked by a group of hunters. And Titan was a Zeta warrior, and after his death, Grace takes that position in Titan's place. Her best friend takes her to a club one night. She sees this guy, they start dancing, and all of a sudden, the next night, she can't remember what happened because she drank something called wolf's bane. And the next day, she sees the alpha of the visiting pack, and he immediately knows that he is her mate. She is his mate. So he tells Grace's alpha that he will only sign the documents for an alliance if Grace agrees to be his mate. I chose this book because there is a character in here that we think is bad, but actually turns out to be a good person. And that character's name is Vincent. And Vincent is a really interesting wolf. He is half werewolf, half hunter, because his mother was his dad was a werewolf, and his mom was a werewolf, and his dad is a hunter. And throughout the book, we thought, like, towards the end of the book, we thought he was a bad character, but he's really a good person. So I want him to get his own story. I don't want to say why we think he's a bad person, because that will spoil the character. But when you see the name Vincent, you will know. Those are all the characters. Those are all the side characters I would want to see get their own story. Please let me know down below, what are your favorite side characters that you think deserve their own story? I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. Please leave a comment down below and like this video. I'll see you Monday. Bye!